Now, this is how you make an announcement. Big 12 Commissioner Brent Yormark with the MJ95 Chicago Bulls last dance mic drop, confirming the return of Colorado football to the Big 12. Just 2 words on that letter. They're back. And Brent Yormark used to work with Jay-Z and Rock Nation, so of course he has some swag.
Elgin Rucker had the best seat in the house tonight, Elgin.
I sure did, and I had some popcorn because just like a lot of fans that came here tonight, it was time to see the Trae Young show, and he did not disappoint. The man had 30 points at the half. He finished with 41 points. That's his 10th 40-point game this season, which leads the NBA. Cowgirls down 1 in the 4th. Time running out, 5 seconds for Taryn Milton, who stops, pops, and it drops ever so slowly. First OSU lead of the game, and it's a game winner. Watch how the ball, once it goes up, it stays on the rim like salt on a margarita, and when it falls, it's a fiesta in Kansas City. Fan voting. I 100% understand that, but the fans need to get a clue, okay? This is the second year in a row they've pulled this mess with Steph Curry.
Steph's a top 10 player of all time, by the way.
Oh, I completely understand, but Shea's a top 3 player in the world right now.
No doubt.
How are they not ranked at this point?
Because they got blown out by South Alabama.
Don't even bring up. Listen. South Alabama feels like it was last season,
right.
dude.
Yeah,
that was so long ago.
You're right.
At that point, Mike Gundy was about to take the field and impersonate his son and play quarterback his dang self. Big game, also a big halftime show. I want to know, are you a Nelly fan? Do you have a favorite Nelly song?
Well, yeah.
What gets you going with Nelly?
It's probably not my top of the list genre, but I do know who Nelly is.
It's Friday Night Football. We're back, baby. How could you not be excited? Listen, I always get a surge of energy when I walk onto a field, especially one as beautiful as this. You know, it's been some years since I've played high school ball, but I still keep the cleats in the trunk just in case one of these kids wants me to prove I still got it, because I do.
At the cornhole tournament, I believe Elgin and our GM, Brent Hensley, just wrapped up their match.
Hey, yeah, we just finished up. Brent's right here, actually. He wants to stay off the camera. He doesn't want to show his face after that performance. If it looks like I'm a little frustrated and my back's hurting a little bit, it's because I've been carrying the team the whole day.
A funeral home operator in Paris who is now offering this alternative method of transport for funerals. Of course, it's more energy efficient.
I don't know if it's energy efficient for the person pedaling, though, because I know they're dead tired. Oh, that wasn't even supposed to be. That was not even supposed to be.
You didn't even mean that?
I did not.
This is the organization's new look. KOCO sports anchor Elgin Rucker is in studio right now with more on this. This is big news here, Elgin.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, guys, you hear people say it all the time, right? New year, new me. And it always sounds good until those New Year resolutions get thrown out the window. But for the Oklahoma City Dodgers, they mean it. In fact, we can't even call them the Dodgers anymore. So allow me to reintroduce the team you know and love as the Oklahoma City Baseball Club. SGA, right in the chest of the defense, takes the bump, banks it off the glass, and let the church say and one. But the man of the hour, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, deep in his bag, like airport TSA. Not too late to hop on that Cowboy bandwagon because they've been balling. Brennan Presley balling with 2 touchdowns on the night. Then it's triple OG, Ollie Gordon, because all he knows is triple digits. Another huge game for him. 200-plus rushing yards in back-to-back games. This guy is amazing. And he's run for at least 100 in 5 straight games, already at 1,000 yards for the season. What has gotten into him? And that's what makes this place so cool. If an athlete or something that they did has any significant ties to Oklahoma, they're in here, even if they were not born in Oklahoma. Like the guy who decades ago was made famous swinging a bat just like this one. In fact, this was made to replicate one of his bats. Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson was playing and Roy Campanella. They played 2 games. They beat him 8-1 in one, 7-5 in the other. But that was the introduction to integrated baseball in Oklahoma.
Robinson's legacy has touched many lives since the day he broke baseball's color barrier in 1947, including Hendricks, who remembers watching the Jackie Robinson movie as a child and learning his story.
Well, I was 9 years old in 1950 when that movie came out, and Jackie played himself. We did not go to the movie very often, but my dad took me, and he knew I had a lot of interest in baseball, so he took me to see that movie. Oh, it had a great impression upon me. I had a soft place in my heart for what they had to go through to get to that place, what Jackie did and the guys that follow him.
It's an example of how sports has and still does bring people together, and why history, whether it's inspirational or uncomfortable, needs to be told. But women wearing helmets and shoulder pads in the 70s was not without controversy. The dolls were formed during the rise of the women's rights movement in the 60s and 70s. The Equal Rights Amendment was reintroduced in 1972, and Title IX was also passed in 1972. But even with progress being made, the players soon found out they were tackling a much bigger issue off the field.
I played softball and field hockey at the University of Oklahoma, and even with university sports, it wasn't something you went around campus telling people that you were a varsity athlete, because you immediately got criticized for taking money away from the men's programs.
It was fun. I was having fun, but I was never unaware of the fact that we were doing something that many, many people just simply didn't believe women should be doing.
On top of that, none of the players were paid a dime. But for these women, showing the world that they could do anything, even play tackle football, was worth it.
You know, everybody loves a winner, and everybody loves a Cinderella story. And we were Cinderella on steroids.
And for every great Cinderella sports story, there's a movie with actress Susan Blakely playing the team's quarterback in a fictional adaptation of the real Dolls team.
My character in the movie fighting for our equal time off with the men. We had to get time off to practice football, which the men got, and we would take up the slack, you know. So we were fighting for that.
And while the movie's plot is not based on the real story, the message it shares is as real as it gets.